Okay, so tonight I have a question on nefarious drones. I'm hearing some concerning stories on what's going on with drones again. I'm going to share this video first and then another thing. I have some concerns over the drones and Trump's inauguration day. Okay, we're going to start with this.
I mean, gosh, dadgum, 3 weeks ago, this was the biggest story in the country. It's completely fallen by the wayside. And you say the story's still out there. So what do you know that we don't?
Well, the drones are still out there. I'm still talking to people that are seeing them. These things flew over our military installations where you had to stop flights. And now it hasn't been reported very much, but it was reported yesterday, I believe, that one of those tanker planes that comes in, swoops in, and picks up water, and then drops it on the fires in California. The plane is out because guess what? It sucked a drone up into its engines. So this is a huge problem. Our government is denying its existence. The people are saying it's out there. And as usual, Americans want their pizzas in 30 minutes or less. And dadgummit, there you go. You got you a dadgummit. And dadgummit, that's about our attention. That's about our attention span. And we've moved on to another story, but those things are still out there. And it was my original premise that the Chinese were watching this and seeing how we react. Just like the balloon that flew over America that should have been shot down, but it wasn't because our White House and our military intelligence basically are compromised by these folks. And all the Chinese did was just watch to see our reaction. That was the big test. It wasn't getting any information. Heck, they got people up here that are hanging out with congressmen, and they've infiltrated a lot of areas of government, and we just let it ride.
But is the problem still as obviously you're clearly still hearing from people who are seeing these drone sightings, and you have this report of this plane, hitting or sucking up one of these drones into its engine. But is it still as prevalent as it was 3 weeks ago?
I think it is. It's just spread out more now, and nobody's paying any attention to it. So I think it's the chicken or the egg. I think that the plan worked. They wanted to see what we would do, and they know we wouldn't do anything. And so now they're moving on to something else. But the reality is they're still out there. They're still flying these things. They're still surveilling our military installations. They're all over the country. And yet our federal government refuses to admit that there's a problem with it.
Yeah, and obviously attention has been focused on the West Coast for, and rightfully so for the past week. So. But you've still been having conversations behind the scenes, it sounds like. So are you any closer to figuring out what's happening here or what these drones could be part of?
I hate to be the chicken little of the bunch, but I don't think it's extraterrestrials. I think it's the Chinese or somebody in collusion with them, and they're monitoring our response to them. I think it's pretty evident that if they wanted to, they could bring a submarine, say, off the coast of New York and launch, say, 50 of these with nuclear capabilities or biological capabilities or a dirty bomb situation. And I think that's what you got to watch. And it's not James Bond. It's pretty simple to do.
So do you think we're in danger?
Oh, 100%. I think we're completely in danger, and our military is asleep, and our legislative branch is asleep, and currently our media is asleep on it. So, and we know there's no executive branch anymore. It's about 20 kids up there pulling the strings. So we're in a really vulnerable situation for the next few weeks, I believe.
Speaking of the next few weeks, just before I let you go, obviously, President-elect Trump becomes president once again on Monday. Are you hopeful that he'll bring about new change or blow the lid off this story in some form or another?
Well, I think it's pretty clear that after he's here, it'll go away because of it currently at that stage, because he said we'll shoot them down. And that's the bottom line. He said he knows. He even said that the military and intelligence know where these things are coming from. They can read the date of a dime off the off the pitcher's mound at Yankee Stadium. Yet they say they can't find out where these things are coming from. They just have an air life of about a couple hours at max, so you can pretty much figure out where they're coming from at that stage. So it's I just think we're inept and arrogant, and those are a terrible combination when you're supposed to be be defending our country.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe you just breathed new life back into the story, and we'll stay on top of it. Thank you so much for hopping on, Congressman Burchett. Always appreciate.
Okay. So this was reported a couple days ago. A couple of thoughts on what he said. I don't know if he got this idea that it was Chinese drones from the Leibelsberger email, the Cybertruck guy, or if it's just because he mentioned the spy balloon / weather balloon, Chinese weather balloon from a few years ago, of why he came to the conclusion it could be Chinese drones. I always think that the Chinese have a certain way of going about doing things. And to me, it all seems to be about if they're doing anything along the lines of something against us. I think it would be like cyber attacks or spying or something. I don't think they're going to be out and out, outright violent, because I just haven't seen that with China. And, Xi Jinping is a lot like Trump, in that they're both wanting to do business deals, which is why today Trump said, oh, yes, I had a great talk with Xi Jinping today, because both of them do like to make deals. And so I'm not sold on what he's saying here, that it's the Chinese. And I never understood why they would be on the East Coast. It's more than likely, if we saw anything from China, it would be the Pacific, because that's where they are, in that area. I still think that it's possible. I think my sons and former CIA analyst Larry Johnson, their ideas, their theories on who these what country these drones could be from. I think both of them are probably have the best theories. I mean, it's true, but the best theories is that it's Israeli Mossad. And the only reason my son thinks that, I'm not sure, I can't recall what Larry Johnson said, other than he thinks it might be something like that. But my son Nicholas thinks that it's because our government has not said anything. First they say, oh, it's nothing. It's just, commercial drones and all this. But these drones are causing, they're oversensitive, sensitive areas, as we said. And if they're either saying it's nothing, or they're not saying anything. And the only country I can see where they would say nothing to protect them is Israel. And we know Israel has spied on the U.S. for years, so it wouldn't be anything new. But considering that Trump forced that ceasefire through his Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, and Netanyahu didn't like that, and Netanyahu decided he wasn't going to go to Trump's inauguration. He thought maybe, we thought maybe, it's because Netanyahu's all ticked off because Trump forced that on him, because it happened. Well, actually, what happened was Trump showed that video I showed you in one of mine, with Professor Sachs, Jeffrey Sachs, talking about Netanyahu, being a deep, dark SOB. And then he decided he wasn't going to see Trump. So it was even before Trump made that decision about the ceasefire, of trying to work out on that before he got into office. So I don't know. If you want to go conspiracy theory, you could think, he doesn't want to come to the inauguration because something might happen. Because I do have worries, and have had worries for quite a while. For a couple months, but it seemed to accelerate over the lightning strikes on New Year's Eve. Kind of like omens, I had said in one of my videos. And I had this worry about what was going to happen on the inauguration day, and then, of course, the prophecies on civil war, 5 or less days in our country, and it had something to do with the people in power during election time. They won't want to give up their power, even though we're seeing that supposedly they're giving up their power. I don't know. So it's possible, it could be any of those things. I'm going to continue on this vein of thought. I'm going to share this from Dan Bongino. He is a former Secret Service agent. So here's what he has to say on this issue. Let me see what I can do here to make this.
Here's Matt McCool again addressing something that I am deeply concerned about. It is the air picture. Folks, I can't tell you this enough. Explaining the damage drones can do and why they are a critical threat is very easy. Human beings can't fly. I can't say this enough. If you see a drone overhead and there is not a vigorous plan to take it down, countermeasures, electronic interference, whatever you plan on doing, netting, basically making it a harder target. I don't know what their plan is. I'm just telling you, I'm hearing from sources it's not nearly as strong as they're claiming. Let's hope I'm wrong and that these sources, that there's updated information. Here's McCool again from the Washington field office talking about a drone plan, saying, hey, don't be alarmed. We're going to have drones in the sky too. Okay, I hope he's right. I hope they've got a good plan. Watch this.
Secret Service's comprehensive security plan will continue to use drones as part of our protective posture. Do not be alarmed if you see these assets during the inauguration or in training in the days ahead.
By the way, dude, it looks like, come on, dude, but he's a friend. He was a friend of mine. I don't talk to, I say was, not that he's had now, but we don't really talk much anymore. He looks like he's cut out of Central Casting, right? And with a name like McCool, perfect, right, for this guy. He's as competent as he looks. So let's hope that drone plan. If they can knock out the drone plan, I am convinced on the big 6, they're all set. Tactical, medical, chem bio, airborne, IED, fire, kind of geological disturbance stuff. I think on the other big 6 threats, they're good to go. It's this freaking air picture that really scares the shit out of me because that's why I have my Don't Get Dead shirt on today, okay? I don't mean to sound silly, but don't get dead. President Trump's not good to us if he gets hurt, okay? Now, why am I working? Don't get that. This is our all-time bestseller, by the way. You donated a lot of money to charity through the shirt, so good for you. We made a lot of people happy. Why am I so worried about this situation? Gee, I don't know. The Daily Signal. Deep State gearing up. Nearly half of federal employees in the swamp plan to resist Trump, poll finds. Half the federal employees. Now do you understand why I'm so worried when the FBI comes out and goes, oh, we're not investigating any threats. And then you've got at least upper management at the Secret Service telling you, screaming at people up on Capitol Hill like Roe and his deputies. Folks, if nearly half of federal employees are planning on resisting Donald Trump, then they're not planning on protecting Donald Trump. They're wasting time resisting. We've got a problem. Fixed by what thing? 3 words. Chat, let me hear it right now. What are the 3 words that are going to fix this thing? This will be a little test. Let's see who gets it.
Okay. So, if he's worried, then I think we should be a little bit concerned, right? Because he has the background on this type of stuff. As he said, he's worried about the aerial. And, I think he was basically saying, drones can drop anything, And the thing about that is if they do drop it, and it's just some random... Okay, some people were talking about swarms of drones coming in on Inauguration Day. And the other thing is some unknown ones that are flying over military installations and all that. Nobody knows who they are. So if nobody's keeping an eye on that, it's possible drones, unidentified, can come flying over and drop whatever. A bomb, dirty bombs, chemical weapons. Geez, I mean, there's so many different things. And you're not really going to know who's flying the drone because it's unmanned. Where did it come from? Are they going to shoot it down and collect the evidence? Well, it doesn't seem like anybody's really trying to do that, so it's a concern. So let's keep an eye on this. The days leading up to the inauguration. It's important. I just want to share this particular information. I thought it was important to share with you, and I hope it was informative, but not too scary. But we do need to be aware of these kind of things, considering what's been going on. So, thanks for watching. Please follow my channel, like my videos, get my videos out there for algorithms and so that my little channel can grow, and share my channel and my videos. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, I hope you have a great evening. Until next time.